Once upon a time, two friends joined forces to bring you the best in horror entertainment. Brian from the north, Tim from the south, each bringing their own unique perspective to the horror community. Movie reviews, Blu-ray releases, beer pairings, games, and more. Welcome to your new home for horror. This is Civil Gore.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our April Discmemberment. This is the Civil Gore Podcast, and I'm your host, Tim.
And this is Brian. And I'm going to warn you tonight, I may be a little lethargic. What comes with old age is I somehow kind of really screwed my back in some weird way. And it's like I either twisted it or tweaked it or whatever you want to call it. One of these things where you get to me and Tim's age, you could literally do it by bending over and picking something up the wrong way or sneezing.
Yeah,
coughing.
I was telling Brian I actually threw my back out hanging up a shirt one time. So
yeah,
that's what happens when you.
But
get
he kept
your 40s.
the shirt. He didn't throw out the shirt. He kept the shirt.
Yeah,
but threw out his back. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a fact of life when you get up to our age. But we do have some fun stuff for you here this month. April's actually a short month, only 20 releases, 5 a week.
Yeah.
I mean, they're actually perfectly evenly spread. It's really crazy. So this is going to be a fairly quick episode for what you guys have been used to hearing in these last few Discmemberments, which has just been kind of epic length, and some were even two-parters. This one we should be able to get to fairly quickly. So I guess we'll...
Yeah, because there's not even a lot of special features necessarily on these.
No. This is going to be a quick episode, but we'll run through them right here. And we'll start things off with the week of April 5th. And April 5th starts things off with our good buddies at RLJ Entertainment that usually release the Shudder titles. And this one is called Vicious Fun. This one came out last year. Joel, a caustic 1980s film critic for a national horror magazine, finds himself unwittingly trapped in a self-help group for serial killers. With no other choice, Joel attempts to blend in or risk becoming the next victim. And I thought this one looked really, really good. Very great, very good trailer.
Yeah, I heard so many good things about this. This has been on my list for a while, and it's just one of those ones that kind of the casualty of the timing of, I guess when it came out, there was a lot we were watching for other things. So, yeah, didn't get to see this one. Definitely want to. I think it's still on Shudder, so I'll probably just watch it on there. But, yeah, it definitely looks really good. And they did a good job with this trailer, too. It's it's one of those movies that, a bad trailer could have turned you off from it. But whoever did this trailer, brought their A game to make this a really cool and appealing movie.
Yeah, this one has some good extras for an RLJ title. They're really stepping up their game lately. This has a filmmaker commentary, deleted scenes and alternate takes, a blooper reel from script to screen featurette, behind-the-scenes photo gallery, and a trailer. Pretty impressive from RLJ.
Yeah. Every so often they'll throw in a disc with a couple of extra features. Their host disc had some good features. It didn't have as good as that really cool version from the UK where you need a region free player for it. But I mean for the US one it came out good. So every so often RLJ will kind of throw you a bone there and give you some good things. Next one is from this company's starting to get more prominent there. This Will Go USA.
Mm-hmm.
And they come up with The Long Night. This one's from 2022. It's a Scout Taylor Compton vehicle. It's a devoted couple's quiet weekend takes a bizarre turn when a nightmarish cult and their maniacal leader come to fulfill an apocalyptic prophecy. Boy, there's a lot of
alliteration
in there.
Yeah.
And alliteration. Yeah, seriously. Tim says it looked okay, but a bit generic. I kind of see what he means on that. Definitely doesn't, it doesn't show you anything that you might not have seen before, but I will definitely probably give it a watch because I do like Scout Taylor Compton. Of course, her and Danielle Harris have that great podcast, Talk Scary to Me. And so pretty much she's good. I'll watch anything with her in it. So definitely want to check that out. It's got a couple of special features here. It's got audio commentary by director Rich Ragsdale, behind-the-scenes featurettes, The Birthing, The Look, The Score, short film, The Loop, and the original trailer.
Very nice.
Very succinct.
Very succinct, yeah. Next up, we have one that I was not expecting from the title what I got, but we'll talk about that in a second. It's from Shout Factory. It's kind of one of their bare bones discs, and it's called The Ice Demon. Came out last year. Sayusha I don't know, KSY. How do you say that? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, it's
Kayusha?
either. I think like something's got to be silent in there. I don't know.
Kayusha barely remembers her father. He went missing when she was a child. Incredibly, he is showing signs of life despite being in a coma. The man has returned home in this condition. His wife is now remarried. The family is thrown into disarray by the return of the former master of the house. Terrifying things are happening in the house, and Kayusha's mom starts acting weird. Kayusha begins to suspect. This is a weird synopsis.
It's like one sentence at a time. It's like
doesn't really
it's
flow.
Like, why watch the movie? Just read these sentences.
Kayusha begins to suspect that something supernatural, icy, and lifeless has come home with her father, and now Kayusha and her stepfather are about to find themselves protecting their family from a demon. Well, don't take that synopsis as representative of the movie, because I mean, not in maybe in terms of plot, but not in terms of your interest level. Because the trailer for this actually looks really, really creepy, and I definitely want to check this one out. Doesn't look like it's about a literal ice demon. Maybe,
yeah.
It kind of seems
which
like
is what I thought when I saw the title.
I thought it was like a monster
movie.
Thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be some weird like Antarctic trip gone wrong.
Something. No, this one looks a lot more like one of those kind of like The Lodge type level artistic horror, but it looks really, really good.
Definitely elevated horror there.
Yeah, which let's talk about elevated horror for a second. Because I've seen a lot of pushback on that term, and to the point where I started getting more annoyed with the people that are annoyed by it than I am at the actual term. Because people get so upset about people using this term elevated horror, and I'm like, it's just a shorthand to describe something that people are having a hard time conveying. It's just a shorthand. That's all it is. Nobody means anything by it. Nobody's,
I think people get this like air of like, oh, it's elevated horror. Like you have to say it in a British accent.
But like other people are like, oh, all horror is elevated. All horror has meaning. Why are you saying this is elevated?
Yeah.
You're pissing on everybody else's horror. I'm like, nobody's doing that. It's just a freaking shorthand to describe like a subgenre that has come about, recently. And I just don't get hung up on it either way. So when I say something's artistic, you guys know what I mean. You guys that are listening know exactly what I mean when I say elevated horror, when I say artistic horror. And I saw this like rant about this. I hate the term elevated horror. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, you're more annoying than the people that are using the term.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm going to continue to use the terms artistic horror or artsy horror or slow burn horror or elevated horror. And you guys know what I mean. It's like The Witch. It's like the A24 stuff. It's just a shorthand for me, so I don't have to spend a 500-page essay explaining why this film is different from something like Ouija Shark. That's all I'm doing.
Seriously, they're both hard. They both have their place.
Yeah.
I like both styles of him. Why can't I just like distinguish it from one for the other?
Yeah, I'm not
in a way that is a commonly used term now. There's nothing against it. I don't get that. People that have a problem with it.
I've literally run a horror podcast for 5 years. You telling me I don't like horror? I like all horror.
I know. Look at what we've watched over those 5 years.
I know. I mean, you guys have heard us do everything from like the most artistically stylized slow burn films to literally Ouija Shark. So
listen, I have a movie entitled Amityville Bulldozer on my to-watch list in the next year or so. So don't tell me I don't watch
we have
aspects of horror.
Promoted the most low-budget indie horror imaginable, and we've promoted the most big-budget, multi-million-dollar movies imaginable. We don't discriminate here. So
listen, you want to don't give some people a pass? Fine, you give us a pass at least.
Just give us a pass. That's all I'm asking. That's really all I'm asking for.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Leave Tim and I to our devices and let us call it what we want.
Sorry for the soapbox, but I just we
haven't done a soapbox in a while.
Yeah, so it just reminded me of that Twitter thing, and I was getting so mad. But anyway, okay.
Well, and it's funny because one of the movies that's the pick of the week movie has a tongue in cheek take on that as well.
Yeah.
So.
The Ice Demon does not have any extras here, though.
Yeah, actually, there's one that just got added. If you check your email, Tim, Shaft Factor just emailed. They want a special feature, Tim, on elevated horror.
Oh my god!
Brand new special feature. Okay, the final one before our pick of the week is from Rising Sun Media. I don't know if we've had them before.
Yeah, if we have, it's maybe once or twice. Yeah. I don't remember them. They're not a regular.
Yeah, and this one, I don't know where we're going to put this one, elevated or bottom floor. I don't know. It's called French Blood, Mr. Pig. It's from 2020. It says, through short stories linked together by a bloody red thread, a collective of 30 French directors is experimenting with a new approach to the anthology of horror and fantasy. Now, I will say this. Did not look like an anthology at all.
No, it did not.
Number one. It was a red band trailer, so it's tons of blood, lots of naked, and a whole heaping pile of WTF. Because I don't know what was going on.
Here's what I don't get. You see, like, not that I go searching up porn videos on YouTube, but you might, if you type something in, you might get like this is an explicit warning or something on YouTube.
Yeah.
And they like, this stuff is readily available. Like, you could, all I searched was French Blood Mr. Pig trailer, and it comes right up. There's no age gate, there's no nothing, and this is like wall to wall nudity.
Yeah, and like literally one of the first sequences you see is like a nude woman standing by a pool that has like no mouth, like in the Twilight Zone, the movie. Remember?
Yeah.
Like kind of look like that, and I'm like, what the?
And you're like, how does YouTube? I don't understand how YouTube gets away with that stuff. But
yeah, I don't. Yeah, and like certain movies, they'll like, if you find a movie on YouTube, they'll like sometimes they'll edit it a little bit. And you'll get an edited version. They don't say anything about it, but you can tell if it's edited by like the running time, which is kind of funny because apparently one of the when we get to our regular episode, one of the Amityville movies I watched apparently was 2 minutes shorter, and I did see both versions on there, and I guess it was one version had an extra couple of scenes, the other one didn't, and I think it was because of the nudity piece in it or something. And so it's funny. I was like, oh, wait a minute, why is this? I noticed there's a shorter thing, and I was curious, and I saw in the comments someone had made a comment on it. So why'd you cut that out?
Well,
so
it wouldn't be weird. Like, I mean, I know you can go to Google and find, explicit stuff without any kind of filter or anything, right? But it's just weird that YouTube chooses to lock different videos behind these things where you have to log in and all this stuff, but yet they allow you to freely.
Where's their determination?
It's just weird. It's just weird.
Like, is a movie and a movie trailer, it's okay?
Yeah, it's just the inconsistency. It doesn't bother me or anything. It's just weird. It's just interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but anyway, so this one is interesting. Definitely, probably not gonna buy this one, but I I might watch it if it's on one of the streaming services, because I don't know if I could, like, it's like 30 different. Well, they all look the same though. It looks like it's all one thing, so I don't know.
I'm always interested in French horror though. Like, I'll always give French horror a try because it's always so like extreme. So I see where you're coming from. I could definitely see the curiosity here.
Yeah, and you want to see the because you like it because it's l'élévateur.
Yes, yeah, le Vitor. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why I'm on such a soapbox tonight. I'm in a great mood.
Because we haven't had the soapbox for a while.
I guess I'm not in an angry mood. Maybe maybe Will Smith's rubbing off on me.
Yeah, I was gonna think of like are you gonna go up and like slap me through the thing if I said anything wrong? I don't know.
I don't know. He's got me aggressive.
By the way, I have to say, not that like it was definitely a serious situation, of course, like the internet, like, I mean, the memes were like, I must have seen literally this morning alone about 100 different memes and jokes about the things. But I have to say the horror community came up with some doozies. They were on point with some of them that were really good. Most of them were like, there was from the standard basic, like him getting slapped because he said he liked the Nightmare on Elm Street like remake versus.
My gosh, yes.
But there were some other ones that were really, really good on there. I mean, not hard to find them. If you're in the horror community like us on Twitter, you've probably seen 50 of them easily already. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to look at those. All right, so before we get to our pick of the week, I'm gonna mention there is a Scream 2-film collection that's just come out. Of course, every time a new franchise movie comes out, they re-release the old ones. And in this case, they're doing a 2-pack of Scream 2022 and the original. But of course, our pick of the week.
To me, that bothers me. Why would you release that pack? It's not like it's Halloween where they discounted all them sequels in between.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just
this is what would be the purpose of buying a true Scream fan? What's the purpose of that when now you've missed the whole in between?
I think they just, I don't know. I don't know why they, yeah, because you'd think if you were going to buy Scream 2022, you've already seen the other ones, but I don't know. That's weird. I think they just throw them out because they're cheap to toss a disc in there and charge a little bit more for it or whatever. But of course, as you might know, our pick of the week is Scream 2022. This is the 4K version from Paramount. 25 years after a streak of brutal murders shocked the quiet town of Woodsboro, a new killer has donned the Ghostface mask and begins targeting a group of teenagers to resurrect secrets from the town's deadly past. Of course, this is a no-brainer auto-buy, as Brian pointed out. And our special features here are filmmaker commentary. The directors, writers, and filmmakers reveal the unwritten rules for surviving this genre-busting horror movie. Bloodlines. Catch up with... I wish they would stop using bloodlines. Oh my God, for everything.
Term.
Catch up with Scream stars Nev... Another soapbox. Catch up with Scream stars Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox, and David
That's
Arquette.
Just laziness. That's a different... That's not the same argument.
Yeah, that's laziness.
Let Tim and I tell you, we just get sick of hearing the same title of a special feature.
Courtney Cox and David Arquette for a deep dive into their characters and why they came back for a fresh stab at their favorite horror franchise. New Blood. Meet the new generation of Woodsboro victims and potential killers. In the Shadow of the Master, the cast honor movie maestro Wes Craven and look back on his incredible legacy as the director who redefined horror. And deleted scenes. Look out. They're back from the dead. See the scenes slashed from the movie. Now that I do want to see.
Yeah. So I have two things I want to say. One, we were planning a roundtable for Scream.
Yes, yes.
For all you fans of our roundtable discussions. Our last one, to me, I had one of the best times ever on this podcast. I thought that was great, especially adding Emily to it, and the Emily Ken back and forth was fun, and just overall it was really fun. So we're definitely doing a Scream one. Not sure if everyone can make it yet, so we're still trying to work that scheduling out. So we're not sure when that's going to be. And two, once again, our streaming service of requirements has come through because you can find French Blood Mr. Pig on Tubi.
There you go.
It is currently on Tubi.
That's awesome.
So, there you go. It never
fails.
Tubi, I swear to God, I literally think they listen. They're in our Alexa devices or our Siri. They're listening to us when we discuss something, and then they quickly shove it on their service. Because how many times has that happened, seriously, when we've been discussing something on this Discmemberment? And so I'd like to check it out first on a streaming, and where else is it?
There you go. Well, that's gonna be on the watch list then for sure.
I know.
Definitely without the kids around.
Yeah, you don't want them to see that.
Let's recap the week of April 5th. We had Vicious Fun, 2021. That's a Shudder title. The Long Night from 2022. The Ice Demon from 2021. French Blood Mr. Pig from 2020. Also available on Tubi. And our pick of the week, Scream 2022 4K edition.
Yes.
All right, moving right along. Okay, I gotta. This is a great week here. This is a really great week. In fact, Brian and I differed on our picks of the week for this one, but we'll kick things off.
Rare different pick,
split,
but but I figured, you know what, I think it's just because your love of a certain kind of film and film kind of thing is just you. It's one of your favorite things, and mine I kind of went with just the titles themselves.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think both of these are worthy though. I like splitting it when I think two titles are like equally worthy.
Yeah,
because then it gives people a choice there. Not that people have to. It's not that you have to buy our picks of the week. But
I know. It's like, I wonder if there's someone out there that actually says, "Oh,
dang,
I gotta buy this." Is that the rule?
All right. So this is the week of April 12th, and our first regular title before we get to those picks of the week is from Universal Studios, Chucky Season 1. The notorious Chucky slashes his way to television in a killer new series written and executive produced by creator Don Mancini, who penned the iconic film franchise. After teenage loner Jake Weber, Zachary Arthur, discovers a vintage good guy doll at a suburban yard sale, a quiet American town soon erupts into mayhem as a blood-chilling murder spree begins to spill everyone's deepest and darkest secrets. While Chucky, voiced by Brad Dourif, unleashes havoc, familiar faces from his past return and threaten to reveal his shadowy origins as a seemingly ordinary child who somehow became the legendary murderous doll. And this is a fantastic series.
I know, I still gotta finish it. I still have some half the season, I think, left.
Yeah, and this is one that if you guys watch the first couple of episodes and you're not completely blown away by it, I would really encourage you to finish it, because it really does. It is one of those seasons that gets better and better as it goes along. because it keeps introducing more and more fan service. So if you're a fan of the movies and you know the movies, you'll get more and more Easter eggs the farther it goes in, and it really is rewarding.
Yeah, no, I just need to like sit there and binge the rest of it one day.
Yeah, it's worth it. This has a Legacy of Chucky featurette and some deleted scenes, so that's a great one. I don't know that I'll necessarily buy this disc because I'll probably not rewatch it. I'll just wait till season 2. But
I mean, I'll buy it because of the, I like to be a completionist, and we have the great Chucky box set.
Yeah,
I just want to have the whole thing.
That's true. You make a good point.
Then again, I haven't bought the Child's Play, the Mark Hamill Child's Play, but that's really separate, so that I can kind of justify in my head.
Yeah, this one definitely is so tightly integrated with the movie franchise that I think that's a really valid argument to own this.
Yeah. Next one, before our pick of the weeks too, is Kino Lorber brings Tentacles from 1977, and it says several people disappear from and at the sea. Their bodies are found gnawed to the skeleton. Even the marrow is missing. The scientists have no idea which animal could do such things. I know which actress might in this movie. But no, it says Dr. Turner begins to suspect that the company which builds a tunnel beneath the bay might have poisoned the environment and caused an octopus to mutate to giant dimensions. Just at the same time, a great sailing regatta, of course, with many children is started. What? That's the part that makes it like a regatta, but with many children. Is it a children's regatta? I don't know.
They have little tiny boats.
Yeah, it's little boats like running around. And but you figure, right? If it's an octopus, right? Any boat that's past number 8 has a chance to survive, right?
That's true.
You can only grab 8 people at a time. Anyway, children has started. Among them, Turner's nephew Tommy, and Tim said it wasn't scary for him until he saw Shelley Winters in it. And I said Cone and Tim would basically, if we ever did a round table on this, it'd be just Cone and Tim arguing which would be more frightening, the octopus or the Shelley Winters.
Well, here, do octopuses gnaw things to the skeleton? Is that a thing?
I guess if it brings it in, I mean, but yeah, I didn't think it did. This must have, maybe it mutates to teeth. I don't know. I thought I had seen this movie, but maybe I might have just been thinking of Octopus, that other killer octopus movie.
I liked how, one thing I really liked about it was instead of showing like giant octopus tentacles, they just showed really close up footage of an actual octopus.
Yeah.
That was funny.
They definitely went with they probably just borrowed from the like Nova or something, or National Geographic channel or something.
It's like, but we'll zoom really close up so it looks big.
Yeah.
That was great.
And then they kept Shelley Winters out of the shots because they didn't want to frighten the audiences twice, Yeah, but,
poor Shelley Winters.
I know. What a lovely woman she was, though. I don't know why she's. I wish she was still alive, Tim, and we could have had like a one-on-one with.
If she never made Pete's Dragon, she wouldn't be scary. But she had to make that one movie.
Yeah, she had to do that. Anyway, she's. I said she's got the theatrical trailers on there, a radio spot, a reversible art, and a limited edition O-card slipcase. I think if you flip the case, it's just Shelley Winters' face on it for Tim.
Oh, all right. Next up from Lionsgate Films, we have one called War Hunt from this year. A Mickey Rourke vehicle, a military commander.
Literally,
literally, yeah.
It's one with him driving in
it. A military commander dispatches an elite team of American soldiers on a deadly rescue mission after a World War II plane crashes. Trapped behind enemy lines in Germany's Black Forest, the men are confronted by a coven of witches. This features
what an interesting plot, I have to say. They really
that's
blended
definitely
a couple of genres here.
That's definitely on up there. I was not completely sold on this one until I saw Mickey Rourke and an eye patch, and that was like, okay, I gotta watch this.
Yeah, no, this one looked really cool, actually.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I was trying to figure out, like, when I kept seeing the couple of things, I was like, do I have the right movie? This doesn't really look horror until I realized that the witches are there, and I'm like, I see what they did now. Okay.
Yeah, no extras on this one though.
Yeah.
No
extras.
So Brian,
I guess I'll do my pick of the week first.
Yeah,
right?
Go ahead and take your pick of the week.
So I went with, from Kino Lorber is releasing one of our favorites, New Year's Evil from 1980. We did this on the show a couple years back, and Tim and I both loved it. Classic 80s, like cheesy horror that, fans of 80s horror, this has got to be in your watch list, I think. especially because it was one of those ones where everything was a holiday. They're trying to capitalize on Halloween. So it says during a New Year's Eve celebration, a punk rock and new wave show host gets a phone call saying that when New Year's strikes in each time zone, someone will be murdered, and she will be the last one. And it's a really cool. What I like about this movie, I think, was so cool because you had that sense of isolation, how it kind of took place in this high rise, but yet things were also happening in other parts of the country that they would cut to for the time zone element.
I like the time zone element. I thought that was really, really interesting.
It's really smart because it's like, you're not going to be able to stop, every hour if something's happening here. You're not going to be able to do it, kind of thing. So it's cool. Yeah, it's definitely a fun movie. That's one I want to have in my collection. There's other versions out, but I think I need to... I got to grab this one. So anyway, it's got a brand new 2K restoration of the film. Audio commentary by by director. I don't know where I said Richard from. It's not even. I must have scanned over by mistake or something. It says audio commentary by director Emmett Alston, moderated by Code Red's Bill Banana Man Olson.
There's a story there.
I feel like that could have been Civil Gore, another job we did not get.
Yeah.
The making of New Year's, especially with all our roundtables. I think I'm getting up my moderating skills. I don't know.
Yeah.
The Making of New Year's Evil, featuring interviews with cinematographer Thomas Ackerman and actors Kip Nevin, Grant Kramer, and Taffy O'Connell. There's 2 A's in it. I don't know. I think you gotta...
Taffy.
Taffy. Yeah. It's also got a theatrical trailer, a newly commissioned artwork by Vince Evans, a reversible art, and limited... So it's limited edition card slipcase.
All right, so...
What's wrong with me? Oh, my God.
Oh, man. That reminds me, nobody got my pun the other night when on the Kim and Ket live thing, because they were talking about hair magic.
Yeah, I missed it. I have to say, I quickly ran to get a drink, and I came back and I saw that there, and I was like, "Oh, what did I miss? Shoot!"
Yeah,
I knew I missed something, and I couldn't even help you out and try and
I put hair magic. It should be called tress-to-digitation. That's a little. That might have been a little too highbrow. That was a little bit. Up there.
Are you trying to say you're too elevated?
That was too elevated. That was the elevated punnage, which is really.
Well, you know what? It's probably partly my fault because I was because you had joined late. I was kind of punning throughout the whole time.
Yeah, I lost my.
And I was going for the quick, easy puns.
Yeah,
that always get a good laugh in there.
Yeah.
So
the more I drink, the more my puns get more and more obtuse, I guess. So.
Yeah, they're barely puns.
I was deep into margarita country at that point.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's why you were late because you had other engagements involving margaritas. And you came late.
All right, so my pick of the week. I am so excited about this one. I usually say, we don't always. Brian and I don't have unlimited funds. We don't always buy every pick of the week, even though that's the one we would suggest.
I know, as if someone looked at the monolith, they would think otherwise. Yeah. But I did. But that is of course of over 10 years of.
Yeah, and I don't. And I buy much less than Brian because I have a mini lith, and so I don't have a lot of expenditures for Blu-rays, although it's part of it. But I spend most of my money on board games. Let's be serious. So
and your children
and my children and medical bills and everything else.
That does take a lot of the budget.
That does. So
I'm sure I would. If I had kids, I would have a much smaller budget as well.
Yeah. So this is a genuine, definitely buying pick of the week. No question. It's from Kino Lorber, and this is a double set of The Abominable, Dr. Phibes, and Dr. Phibes Rises Again. These were, of course, from 71 and 72. I watched these for a horror challenge a couple years back. 2 or 3 years back. I don't know. I can't remember, but fairly recent past. And I just absolutely love these. I had probably seen them sometime before that, but I never really appreciated them on that level until I watched them for the horror challenge. So let's read the description here. The Abominable Dr. Phibes, 1971. Meet Dr. Phibes, a one-time concert musician who's now an all-time crazed murderer. In this clever, crypt-kicking classic, Horrormeister Vincent Price plays a diabolical doc seeking the ultimate in revenge with precision creepiness and surgical wit. Watch Dr. Phibes live up to his promise. 9 killed her, 9 shall die, 9 eternities in doom. After a team of surgeons botch his beloved wife's surgery, leaving her for dead, the emotionally distraught Dr. Phibes creatively concocts a fatal prescription for revenge, using the good book as his guide. Phibes unleashes a score of Old Testament atrocities, from a plague of locusts to an attack of rats on his enemies that climax in what may be one of the eeriest endings on screen record. And then, of course, the sequel, Dr. Phibes Rises Again. Flesh crawls, blood curdles, Phibes lives. This sequel to the abominable Dr. Phibes again features Vincent Price as one of the most perfect horror villains in his long list of evildoers. The imminent Dr. Phibes awakens from a decade of suspended animation and heads to Egypt with his mute aide-de-camp, Volnavia, and the corpse of his dead wife. To resurrect his spouse, Phibes gets up to his usual diabolical tricks, cleverly murdering people in strange and heinous ways to invoke a magical incantation. But once he is in the tomb of the dead pharaohs, the good doctor discovers that his pursuit of an afterlife may be foiled by his nemesis, who wants to end the reign of this sadistic surgeon of gore. And in my opinion, two of these films are like Vincent Price's top of his game. Like, this is prime, one of my favorite roles of his of all time.
So this is like elevated Vincent Price.
Elevated
right?
Vincent Price, for sure. It has some great special features here, too. And not one, not two, not three, 4 audio commentaries. You get 2 for Dr. Phibes and 2 for Phibes Rises Again. The first one, you have a commentary by director Robert Fuest, and another one by Justin Humphreys, the author of the Dr. Phibes Companion, which I've now got to track down.
Yeah.
And same thing with the second disc. Justin Humphreys returns for another audio commentary, and then film historian Tim Lucas, which I forgot to highlight there. Tim Lucas is our southern.
He's our southern redneck gentleman.
Yeah, he's a regular, so we know who he is.
Yeah.
And then we have some radio spots and theatrical trailers. So I absolutely adore those movies. I am definitely getting that.
Yeah, I heard there's going to be a mashup with Short Circuit. He's going to be Johnny Phibes. But, that was terrible. Why did you let me get that? You should have known.
I should have just cut you off right there.
Yeah.
I could have edited that out, but I won't. I'll leave it.
Yeah.
So let's recap the week of April 12th. We had Chucky Season 1, Chucky Season 1, Tentacles from 1977, War Hunt from 2022, and then our picks of the week. Brian picked New Year's Evil, great Kino Lorber set, and I picked a twin pack, Abominable Dr. Phibes and Dr. Phibes Rises Again, also from Kino Lorber.
Yes.
All right, that brings us to the week of April 19th. We do have a quick reissue here, a Cabin of the Woods, nice 4K steelbook, I believe is a Best Buy exclusive coming out this week.
We've never done that movie.
I thought we did.
Did we?
Real early. Yeah, real early on.
Did we? Okay, that's wow. I don't remember. That's bad that I didn't remember that.
I'd have to go look.
I wasn't
back
sure
and
if we
check.
did it or we watched it and talked about it. That's the thing I can't. I know we've discussed it. I just don't remember if it was a feature.
Yeah, I'd have to look back in the archives.
Yeah, maybe we did it. Maybe we did it early on. I'm not.
Yeah, it would have been a real early episode. Let's see. First up here is one I really enjoyed last year. Shudder's VHS 94.
Yeah, I still think that second sequence was one of the creepiest sequences I've seen in like a found footage.
Yeah, the synopsis here is a police SWAT team investigates a mysterious VHS tape and discovers a sinister cult that has pre-recorded material which uncovers a nightmarish conspiracy. This is a great one. I don't think any of the segments were bad, but there was a couple that were really, really, really good. So definitely
I just love the whole series, the VHS series, because it's so simplistic in its nature, but it has delivered some of the best found footage moments like of all time, I think, in there. And it doesn't get. I don't think the whole series gets enough of the enough praise that it deserves.
They do
really
some really
good.
Innovative found footage, like that you don't typically see.
Yeah,
and I think that's what kind of elevates it. See what I did there?
Yeah, like we're gonna have to hesitate every time we say that.
But yeah, I think it's what makes it stand apart from a lot of these anthologies, even found footage anthologies, is they try to do cool, like new things with found footage, which I think is really, really neat. But this one, does not have any extras, but it's still a great buy. This is a great film.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they had some in the end, but
yeah,
once it releases. Next one is Blue Underground, and this is called Manhattan Baby, which sounds like some weird like Broadway show, a musical that like a down on the luck producer was trying to produce.
Well, see,
didn't quite make it.
I thought it was going to be a mashup of Muppet Babies Take Manhattan, but
it could have been. That would have been fun. Actually, I would watch.
I would totally watch that.
So it says an archaeologist or architectologist, as Becca Scott would say, opens an Egyptian tomb and accidentally releases an evil spirit. His young daughter becomes possessed by the freed entity, and upon arrival back in New York, the gory murders begin. Why are they going to come back to New York when they've become something bad?
You know what? This is actually the plot of Moon Knight. I'm not even kidding. Like that's
Really?
how Moon Knight comes about. He opens an Egyptian tomb and gets possessed by an kind of, well, I guess not technically evil, but he gets possessed by an Egyptian spirit, and then he becomes Moon Knight. So
I gotta watch that.
Yeah.
I remember the comic book, but I don't remember. I think I had joined that back in the 80s when I was reading those all the Marvel comics. I was reading that one. It was a limited series, I think, but I think I started reading the full series of it, and I had so I was already in the middle of it, so I didn't get all the origin info. I don't know if that's how it was in the comic.
Yeah, I've reread I've read these recently, like in the past year, and I started with the original Moon Knight. There's been they've rebooted this series so many times, but I started back reading the original ones. So I read all of those, and then I started the second run. I think I'm now up to like the third run, but I haven't finished them all. But Moon Knight was one of my favorites because those were one of the first comic books I actually owned. Because my granddad, I've always talked about this big literal garbage bag of comics my granddad brought home from a yard sale one day. And there must have been, I don't know, there must have been like 200 or 300 comics in here. And he just like basically brought this home and was like, here, I bought you some comics. And we used to, like, every time I went over to my granddad's house, that's what we did. We'd go upstairs and dig through the garbage bag and find comics to read. And Moon Knight, there's a ton of Moon Knight in there. So that was one of the first like actual physical comics that I remember reading that wasn't like a kid comic like Richie Rich or Archie.
So you must have been excited when the series came out.
Oh, I was super excited. Yeah, Moon Knight's always been one of my favorites, even when people that didn't really know who Moon Knight was. And I don't think a lot of people still know who he is unless you're really...
I just thought it was like he's drawn really cool, and I thought it was like, it's like a cool looking like character, you know. So that's how I started watching.
I mean, he's essentially, let's be honest, he was Marvel's answer to Batman because he's very Batman-esque. But the one thing I like about Moon Knight, and you'll see this when you see when the series comes out with Oscar Isaac, which is like soon, right? Like almost like today, maybe. I don't know.
Is it this week? I think it might be.
Yeah, I think it might be this week. But he has.
I thought someone said they saw an episode, but maybe I was wrong.
He has a like a split. What is it? In the comic, at least the original comic, he has almost like a split personality. Now, I don't know how much they're going to do with this, and I don't know how much the series is going to reflect on the more current comics. In the original comic, he kind of has a split personality, but it's not like a mental split personality. It's more like, these are my three personas I'm going to use. I'm going to dress like a cab driver, and that's how I'm going to get tips and stuff on crime. And I'm this character when I'm the cab driver, and I'm this character when I'm the bum, and then I'm this character when I'm the wealthy businessman. So it was almost like a split personality, but it was intentional. But I think as the series went on and it got rebooted over and over, it became more unintentional split personality. So he's a very psychologically interesting hero. So I'm looking forward.
Yeah, just to clarify, it's Wednesday. It starts.
Sweet. Oh man, I'm excited. Yeah, I can't wait.
I know.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, this has got some good features on it though. It's got a brand new 2K high definition transfer from the original uncensored camera negative and all new 5.1 surround MX. I forgot to mention, this movie could, like, based on the trailer, could totally fit in the universe of the movie The Visitor.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
The way it was styled, and there was like some weird Force Ghost girl in there that was like blue highlighted like Force Ghost, so that was kind of weird. But anyway, it also has an exclusive limited edition, includes Blu-ray, DVD, soundtrack CD, bonus booklet, reversible sleeve, and special packaging. Well, this could have been pick of the week, actually.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
this was
really
pretty close.
Yeah.
Then it had Fulci and I, an interview with composer Fabio Frizzi, an hour-long career overview, the soundtrack collaborations of Fabio Frizzi and Lucio Fulci. Fabio and Fucci. That's Frizzy and Fucci. That sounds like some weird variety show from the 70s. For the Birds, an interview with star Cosimo Cinieri. 25 years with Fulci, interview with makeup effects artist Maurizio Trani. Beyond the Living Dead, interview with co-writer Dardano Sacchetti. Then Stephen Thrower on Manhattan Baby, interview with the author of Beyond Terror, the films of Lucio Fulci. And of course, Stephen Thrower was sometimes he was a scholar, sometimes a historian. I mean, he's done it all. He was on Fowler and Pratt show. They thought he was a pitcher. You know the drill.
Yeah, but he's fully. I think he's fully reclaimed his status now. He's been showing up quite a bit lately. So
he's coming back and forth a lot. And then, and then the Manhattan Baby Suite, a live studio performance by Fabio Frizzi. Why is this not the Fabio Frizzi collection at this point? Theatrical trailer, poster, and still gallery. Bonus collectible booklet featuring new writing by author Troy Howarth. Oh, now he's author.
Oh, no, he's an author. He doesn't get a description.
Elevated to author Troy Howarth. Bonus CD, Manhattan Baby original motion picture soundtrack by Fabio Frizzi. But this is a packed set.
Yeah, I'm almost second guessing my pick of the week, but I have a nostalgic.
But I mean, I think the one that got it is well deserved. It's not like it's like we picked like what French Blood, Pig 2, whatever that was called.
Well, I do have a nostalgic connection to our pick of the week. Next one up, this is one I saw on Vudu a number of times because I almost thought about renting, but I think it's still like $20. I think it's still like I might be wrong about that. It's one that's in theaters, but I think it might be at the normal rental price. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. It's from Lionsgate. It's called The Exorcism of God. It came out last year. I'm always down for a good possession flick. So
yeah.
An American priest working in Mexico is possessed during an exorcism and ends up committing a terrible act. 18 years later, the consequences of his sin come back to haunt him, unleashing the greatest battle within. I mean, it looks pretty decent. I mean, again, like not anything you haven't seen before, but like I said, I'm always down for a possession movie. So this has 3 extras here: delivers towards evil, making the exorcism of God, orchestrating fear, and deleted scenes.
And then we have from Media Blasters, Alive, which is probably about the 15th movie named that.
You should do it a live challenge.
It's either Alive or Alone, or there's so many of those each. But after surviving his own execution, Tenchu chooses to be subjected to the bizarre experiments of the prison officials. I have no clue what's going on with this. There was like just way too much like visual images with no. I guess they don't translate it either on this trailer, so we have no idea what's going on. But definitely looks like it's a visual.
It looked a little Matrix-y to me, maybe.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Yeah, definitely there's got to get a Matrix vibe in it. I mean, yeah, who knows? But it's got some features on it here. It's got making of Alive, director and cast interviews, audio commentary, international trailer, film festival trailer, original trailer, and the release trailer. So half this disc is old trailers.
All right, well, that brings us to our pick of the week. This is Shout Factory's edition of Night Creatures from 1962. Captain Collier arrives in an English coastal town with his band of Navy men to investigate reports of illegal smuggling and bootlegging, only to find that he must also investigate reports of marsh phantoms. I love that term. That's great.
That's like water zombies and marsh phantoms. That's the team up. Marsh phantoms versus water zombies.
That's already greenlit. Marsh phantoms versus water zombies.
That's moving top of the list. The Kickstarter.
So, marsh phantoms being said to ride on phantom horses through the marshes, spreading terror to any who encounter them. The captain suspects that the local vicar is hiding something as well. So, this is my nostalgic connection to this movie. Remember that horror movie book I always talk about from the 70s that I had when I was a kid? And I bought a copy off eBay when I finally found it because I didn't know what the title of it was. But it had, if you remove the cover, the book jacket, the actual hardcover was imprinted with the pictures of these marsh phantoms, the skeletal horses with the skeletal riders. And I never knew what movie that was from because I only remembered, the kid, I didn't read it. I just looked at the pictures. So I never knew what the actual movie was called. So when this came out and I saw the trailer, I was like freaking out because I could tie the movie to that book that I had and still have. So I was really excited about that. So this is I've got to, I don't know whether I buy it or not, I've got to see this because it has such a connection to me with that childhood book.
Yeah, well, it gets bonus points for me for 2 things. One, it's got a character named Dr. Pepper, who they mention in the trailer. And then the fact that the description has the word vicar in it because it's like a running joke between my sister-in-law and I. My sister-in-law, Lori, she was in a play. She's an actress, and she did a play once. And they kept saying, "Oh, but it's the vicar," and I was laughing at it. And then we would always run a joke that vicar, and so anytime Vicar is mentioned, we get a laugh. So had to mention that one because right off the bat, that brings my attention towards this movie.
This one has a new audio commentary with film historian Bruce Hallenbeck, and of course we know Bruce Hallenbeck. He teams up with Troy Howarth and Nathaniel Thompson to form the Stygian Witches from Clash of the Titans.
Yes.
So what a weird,
always a pleasant.
what a weird description. But hey, we don't write it. That's what the film historians are.
Listen, I get it out of the film historian database.
That's right.
That's where I get these things.
New Pulp Friction. That sounds adult. The cinematic Captain Clegg, an interview with author film historian Kim Newman, and of course Kim Newman does not get a description. He's just a terrible neighbor to Barry Forshaw who lives across the hall. And then The Hammer Must Fall, Peter Cushing's Changing Directions, an interview with author film historian Jonathan Rigby. And Jonathan Rigby's not a Supreme regular, so we will go over his description. He is related to Kathy Rigby, the famous Olympian and Peter Pan portrayer. However, that is where the similarities end because Jonathan hates gymnastics and Peter Pan. Interesting fact, when he gets together with John J. Johnson, Kevin Lyons, and Alan Barnes to play golf, John insists they call the team the Fantastic Four. So that's one of my favorite descriptions.
He's got a lot of
He has a lot going on. New Brian with Bowie. And this is not
me and
David
and David Bowie. Yeah.
Brian with Bowie, an interview with special effects artist Brian Johnson. The Making of Captain Clegg, hosted by author Wayne Kinsey. The Mossman Legacy. That's pretty good. Yeah. The Mossman Legacy, George Mossman's Carriage Collection. Theatrical trailer and still gallery.
Well, we have a friend named Cosman. We call him Cosman.
Yeah, Mossman. So, yeah, I like it.
So we got Mossman.
All right.
We got Mossman, we got Cosman.
All right, so to recap, April 19th, we have VHS 94 from Shudder, Manhattan Baby 1982, Packed Disc from Blue Underground. So that's a runner-up pick of the week for sure. The Exorcism of God from 2021, Alive from 2003, and then our pick of the week, Night Creatures, Shout Factory 1962 Collector's Edition. Definitely I've never seen the movie, so I can't say it's a great movie, but it seems like a packed disc with a lot of good film historian content.
Yes.
All right, and that brings us to our final week of April 26th, and this one features we'll get to it here in a second, but it kind of features another piece of franchise duo here. But we'll start things off with Severin Films. They're releasing Mardi Gras Massacre, 1978. That's early for this type of movie. Yeah. Police try to capture someone who is committing ritual murders of women during Mardi Gras in New Orleans. And this one, this had, like, to contrast announcers from the 70s, you had the ones I really love. My personal favorite are the ones like that were for Tentacles. The Tentacles trailer where like they were super monotone. They were like, a killer stalks the waves. Tentacles. They're coming to get you. And it's like so monotone.
The Poseidon adventure.
Yeah, I love those. Those are my absolute favorite. But my second favorite would be these, where this trailer, like the announcer was like almost giddy at the idea of all the murder that was going on. So he was kind of like, a killer stalks Mardi Gras. The body count is piling up. You know, that kind of guy. So, he kind of see both contrasts of these 70s announcers, which I love. But that's about the only good thing I can say about the trailer because it looks pretty bad.
Yeah, but it really was like, it kind of looked like one of those fake movie trailers that would be in a movie.
Yes.
About like a Hollywood director trying to sell cheap movies. Yeah.
This one has a 2K restoration and reconstruction from the best surviving elements. Well, that should tell you something there. The movie's not even complete, barely. Yeah. I'm Not Into Hollywood, interview with director Jack Weiss. The Mardi Gras Killer, interview with actor William Mezzo. And The First Victim, interview with actress Laura Mish, and a trailer.
The next one... Well, I guess this is
the franchise thing.
The franchise we were talking about. Vinegar Syndrome is releasing a little twosome here. Scanner Cop 1 and 2. I'll do 1 and then Tim could do 2 here. It says, and I'll try and read this in a. It's because one of those story synopsis. So I'll try and get you into the mood. It's from 1994. Imagine a cop who can read your mind, then blow it away. A series of cop killings has the LAPD running scared. They have no clues, no evidence, and no leads. Their only hope to stop them, a young rookie with a secret power to read minds, and then blow them away.
They already used that joke.
I know. I just read. I can't. I would have used another one, but anyway. Samuel Stasiak, a graduate of the police academy who follows in the footsteps of his adopted father, Sergeant Carrie Mahoney. No, I'm just kidding. I threw that in there. Little police academy joke there. Is a scanner who never used his own inherited terrifying powers. Soon after his graduation, cops start to get murdered by seemingly normal citizens. Although he's repelled by the nature of the senseless crimes, Sam is reluctant to call in his special gift to stop murders. But when his policeman partner becomes a victim, he turns to his scanner powers, which will take him to the bizarre world of a demented neurosurgeon. So yeah, that is Scanner Cop 4K. This one sounds cool. Yeah, the visuals are really well done. It looks definitely restored.
Oh yeah, go watch. Yeah, don't go watch the original trailer. Go watch the Vinegar Syndrome released a promo of the 4K releases, and they look really, really good.
Yeah, they do a good job restoring that. They must use a little extra vinegar. It says that was terrible. Newly restored in 4K. It's got Outside the Law, the Scanner Cop Revolution, Part 1. Guess where Part 2 is going to be. Extended making of documentary featuring interviews with producer-director Pierre David, actress Hilary Shepard, actor Mark Rolston, actor Richard Grove, special effects artist Ted Haynes, special effects artist James Rowland, stunt coordinator Jeff Pruitt, director Scanner Cop 2, Steve Barnett, and screenwriter who I guess wrote You're Next, Simon Barrett. It's also got an original promotional video, commentary track by the We Hate Movies podcast.
We love movies, and we don't get invited to do these.
I know. One of these days, we are trying everything we can. We need to get on one of these discs. We have we have enough friends now out there that might be able to get us on a disc here. Reversible cover artwork.
All right, so as Brian alluded to, the next one up is Scanner Cop 2, The Showdown, also in 4K. This was from 95 from Vinegar Syndrome. This obviously being a spin-off series of the Scanners series that I actually really enjoyed. But two deputies. Oh, let me read this in my movie voice. Sorry.
Yeah, gotta get back in the.
Yeah, and my lovely wife just brought me some plum tea, so I should be very extra dulcety for this one. All right. Two deputies stumble across an escaped convict and drag him into the nearest jail. The man is Carl Vulcan, a scanner and convicted mass murderer. Blazing a murderous trail out of the desert, Vulcan goes looking for revenge against Stasiak, the scanner cop who put him in jail. As Vulcan's telepathic powers increase with every victim, he and Stasiak head towards a deadly confrontation. Two scanners in the ultimate showdown.
You know, I want to see this because I want to see how they kept him in the jail.
Yeah.
Because couldn't he just like scan his way out?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like by blowing all the people's heads off.
Unless it's like a Magneto level jail where they.
That's what I'm thinking of. Is it like somehow I can't imagine they would put him there, but yeah, like did they give him a metal helmet or something to block it?
Like a tinfoil hat.
Yeah, maybe that's where the tinfoil hats came from. I don't know. Yeah, I kind of want to see this. I want to curious to see how they keep him in jail. Maybe they just put some kind of like magnetic waves.
Well, I know when I did the Scanners franchise for the horror movie challenge, I didn't even think about the Scanner Cops. Like I didn't continue on until I
think they're different enough that it counts. You don't have to see those to.
No, yeah, I don't think you have to, but I think it would have been fun to do.
Yeah. Well, maybe that could be a future Discmemberment.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Summer's Vacation.
Yeah, I know what you meant. Yeah.
Get the skin.
So this one is also newly restored in 4K, has a commentary track with director Steve Barnett. Outside the Law, the Scanner Cop Revolution, Part 2. That's right. Extended making of documentary featuring interviews with director Steve Barnett, producer Pierre David, actor Patrick Kilpatrick. That's
sounds
great.
Like one Patrick didn't make it, one didn't.
I like Patrick Kilpatrick. That's an awesome name. Actress Christine Haji, actor Stephen Mendel, composer Richard Bowers, special effects artist Jeff Farley, makeup effects artist Tom Irvin, special effects artist James Rowland, and screenwriter You're Next, Simon Barrett. Original trailer and reversible cover artwork.
You know, it'd be funny if Patrick Kilpatrick was a hockey player and he got a hat trick, and he'd be, and then just imagine a headline: Patrick Kilpatrick gets a hat trick.
That'd be great.
Does anyone else think about these things, or is it just my?
I think it's just us.
Brain. Oh, fine. Here, for some reason, like I know this has nothing to do with this other series we're going to mention, but like, how does this week seems like to have this theme of this kind of a movie here? This next one is from Culture Shock Releasing. I believe that's a first for a Dismemberment here. Maybe that'll be next Cody's project. She'll have to do it. She'll open up a second tome and just write all the release companies in there. We got Slash Dance. from 1989. And it's a female cop goes undercover as a dancer at an old theater to catch a serial killer who's been murdering women auditioning for a musical. And I could not, believe it or not, I could not find a trailer for this, but they did have the full movie on there, which I'm not going to sit through just to talk about it for 30 seconds on a Dismemberment. But it'd probably be a fun movie anyway, though. I have a feeling. This got some good stuff on here, though. It's got a full-length commentary with director James Shyman, who's very quiet. He's a little reserved. He's a little bit of a introvert. But yeah. Why couldn't you know that would be him if he was a film historian? He'd have a whole thing about how he never spoke up.
Yeah.
Come on, James. If you're still looking for work, maybe become a film historian. Full-length commentary by Hack the Movies podcast. Okay, now I think it's personal too.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. We don't hack movies. We love movies. We don't hate movies. We love movies. But we still don't get invited to these things.
Maybe the film historians banded together to blackball us off the list because of all our jokes.
That could be. That's actually very possible.
Yeah. Anyway, is that what was the Seinfeld? Remember, he goes. When he got banned from Hop Sings. What was the
oh gosh,
Ed Isaacov? But what was the term? It's not blackball. It's
blacklist.
It's blacklisted from Top Sing. I mean, I think they mean the same thing.
Yeah.
But his was like it. But yeah, blacklist. That if for some reason, my brother joked like that because he got in trouble one time. We were at one of those all you can eat sushi restaurants, but it was one that they bring you all you can eat. And so their only rule was that you couldn't share. And I think my brother Jeremy, he didn't get the all-you-can-eat feature because he didn't really want that, and he wanted something else. But I gave him one off my plate, and they caught him, and they pointed at him.
Oh, my
and
gosh.
They said, you can't do that, we'll charge you. And so we made a running joke that he got blacklisted from Hop Sing. Anyway, so where are we here? Oh, so it's got so it's a full mix commentary by Hack the Movies podcast. Interview with actor J. Buzz von Ornsteiner. Ornsteiner. Oh my God, what a name!
Oh, that's great.
KGC is like, I am Mr. J. Buzz von Ornsteiner.
It sounds like he lived in the bunker game.
Oh, totally. Yeah, he was probably that character that nobody liked in there. Interview with producer Andrew Meisner. 3-minute flash dance by future schlock of Everything is Terrible. I don't even know what that is. What does that mean?
I don't know.
I'm sure it's some kind of thing that got a job that we should have got. Culture Shock releasing trailers. Bonus feature film. Hollywood's New Blood. Culture Shock releasing trailers. So,
and now I'm really second guessing my pick of the week because of the Scanner Cops. Like I almost wonder if we should have both done a Scanner Cop now because this pick of the week has no extras other than a theatrical trailer. But when I first saw it, it just appealed to me because it's from 1955, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
Cohen Media Group. And this one is called Dementia, a.k.a. Daughter of Horror. And the reason I say 1955 is interesting is because that's when you usually saw the big monster movies and the B sci-fi movies. And that's the kind of what you think when you think of 50s horror. But this one is very elevated for the 50s.
Yeah, no, but you know what it is? It looked really crisp and clean.
Yeah,
and like it did not look like it was.
No, and
the 50s.
It doesn't say that it's remastered in here, but it looks remastered. If you look at the trailer, it was it looks really good. Like I even said, it looks like a modern film made to look like it was made in the 50s because that's how clean and crisp it looked. It was really interesting. The synopsis here is a young woman wanders the streets in a nightmare through a landscape of mutilations, patricide, and paranoia, waking in her apartment amidst clues that suggest it wasn't a dream. So, I don't know. If you like elevated horror, I would say this would be your pick of the week. If you like unelevated horror, I would say go get you some Scanner Cop. Yeah. Double back. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to do that, the Scanner Cop.
Yeah.
We just need to do a full scanner thing.
A whole scanner, yeah. Our summer slaycation is set in stone this summer. We're doing probably the most epic summer slaycation ever.
Yeah, I think it's time.
It's time. We've warned about it. We've hinted about it for ages, and I think this year is the year we have to finally do it.
Yes, I think we should do it.
Yes,
and we will probably will.
Yeah, that's it.
So, yeah, so that's our Dismemberment. It's a good, it's a pretty decent month.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, for the small amount, I think it's got very high percentage.
Very high. Yeah, I mean, these are
See,
great.
that's what you want to see climb. You don't want to see the COVID rates climb. You want to see the percentage of good discs versus the total, the Dismemberment, stat.
I guess I'll recap this week real quick. We had Mardi Gras Massacre from 78. We had the 2 Scanner Cop and Scanner Cop 2 in 4K, which were really packed with extras, look really good. Slash Dance from 89, and then our pick of the week, kind of a soft pick of the week. Now I'm more leaning towards the Scanner Cops, but this is Dementia, aka Daughter of Horror from 1955. But yeah, this is for as limited a number of releases this is, very high percentage of disc I would love to own. Like, I would take those Scanner Cops all day long. I would take that Manhattan Baby looked fantastic.
Yeah.
The New Year's Evil and the Abominable Dr. I mean, most of these had 2 picks of the week on them out of a release of 5. I mean, that's huge. So yeah, fun.
I mean, it does mean something.
So we will see you guys back here in May for our May Dismemberment. It's weird to me that this year is flying by so fast, but here we are. So take care, everybody, and we'll see you next month.
See ya.